Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige finally confirms to us why Oscorp was never brought into the MCU and why they never wanted to. And this takes it all the way back to Spider-Man Homecoming, coming up with a brand new idea for the trilogy, and ultimately why he never had interest in the first place and was never going to do it. So this piece of info came at us from a recent interview with Comic Book, where Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige was reflecting on how far Spider-Man has come, and of course the ideas that started to form in terms of what they wanted to do with Spider-Man in the MCU. And he reflects back on those early comments talking about wanting new villains, and he specifically mentions Vulture and Mysterio as villains that were never done before in live action. And then he's asked about Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn, of course the existence of Oscorp in the MCU, which he confirms doesn't exist, or Norman Osborn or anything like that outside of Dafoe's multiverse version. And he talked a little bit more about it, saying that there was never an intent or an idea to use that character, to ever use the Oscorp building or anything like that, because it didn't fit the MCU. Because of the original philosophy and ideas that included new villains and new characters that we've never seen before in Spider-Man's live-action iterations. So this also systematically debunks every single scooper out there that was saying Norman Osborn and Oscorp at the end of Homecoming. Definitely at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. Definitely the ones that bought Avengers Tower. We've talked about all those theories, scoopers that were very adamant that this is happening, that Matthew McConaughey was apparently going to be Norman Osborn, that they were searching for another actor once he passed it up, that Norman Osborn is the benefactor, that Norman Osborn is whoever Sharon Carter was talking to. He just pretty much disproved all of it, saying, no, we never wanted to, we were never going to, and Oscorp is not a thing in the MCU, and that's why they confirmed it in No Way Home. Of course, could this change down the road? Maybe, but we see Oscorp popping up in Morbius, and it's still a major factor in if they ever go back to those other Spider-Man universes. So again, you're kind of backing yourself into a pretty big corner if you go back to the same well over and over. At some point, it's going to dry up, so why not go to the other well and mine it for, everything it's worth, because there's still plenty of water in there, and who knows what else might be in there. Sometimes you might strike gold trying to dig a new well. Does that make sense? To make it simple, they could have gone back and just done Oscorp again and Norman Osborn and Green Goblin and the same thing, or they could have done the MCU the way they did, and as evidence, they literally hit pay dirt trying to dig for more water and found massive gold with No Way Home. And it still had everything from the other well. And the other well, too, that dried up fast. So, yeah. Keep using the new well. That's the point here. There might be more gold in there.